our program tonight, Culture and Christianity, and tonight we'll be talking about culture naming. Our guest speaker, we have Mr. John N. Ng'ang'a. And Mr. John N. Ng'ang'a, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Talking of naming, can you please comment on Jabez's name in the Bible?
That's a good question, because 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 9 says, Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. His mother had named him Jabez, saying, I gave birth to him in pain. What about name to name your child? Just because you're in pain, you want your son to carry your name. And whenever I look at this verse, I say, hey, mothers can be terrible. Because you see, it was you in pain, I agree, but the people never contribute to the pain. Surely, why should the baby carry your name, the name of pain? Why should you remind the baby of pain when it is you who was in pain? It's the same thing I argue in my book, Finding a Life Partner, about boys where the mother encourages them as a way of fighting the husband who left her. They encourage the boy to be called Wanjiru. You know, you've had a boy, like the one who died, called Wanjiru. Now, you know, for a Kikuyu, the moment you hear that's Wanjiru, you assume it's a woman. Only when he comes, you find it's a man. Then you ask them, why have you done that? My mother told me that I have nothing to do with my father. But you know, whether you like it or not, you cannot get a baby without a father. If that father has become bad to you, don't use your son to fight him. Let your son carry his load. By naming him the name of a mother, you are making him carry your quarrel, the quarrel between the husband and wife. Because unless, of course, the father of the boy does not want the name to be known, there is no reason why you want the boy not to know the father. Number two, isn't it even better that you give the boy a name that will not tell the story, so that you just say, if he is called Eliezer Kamau Karaoke, even if Karaoke belongs to nobody, it's just a name. But to call him Eliezer Kamau Wairimu makes everybody know three things. Number one, the possibility that the mother got her out of wedlock. So by carrying the name, he is carrying the story of the mother, which is dishonoring the parent. When you want everyone to think that your mother is a loose woman, why would you want everybody to know that she's a loose woman? Because they will not ask you, oh, you are called Wairimu. I guess she was a bad woman. She had a child out of wedlock. Alternatively, if they are very positive, they say, sorry, her husband dumped her, so she's in pain. Why do you want your son to carry the issues of what happened with him? That is your problem. You have a God you can give your problems to. Don't hand your problem over to the child. So that when they are in primary school, everybody says, oh, Wairimu, and they are in the process, they are getting, these people have no father. These people have no whatever. I think it's important. It's important to understand in the scriptures, the assumption is that every child will have a father and a mother in the scriptures. But even in most cultures, it's assumed every boy will have a father and mother. So when you call yourself by your mother's name, you are creating a story which you have to repeat. So if somebody comes to my office and he is called Wairimu, I have a lot of interest. Why are you called Wairimu? Instead of discussing the business that brought him, he has to carry the mother's troubles with him into my office. So he start, somewhere when I get a chance, I will still ask. So that's what I find odd. So this woman suffered in childbirth. So she decided to call her son Jabez. My recommendation is, if you have a problem between a husband and wife, do not pass them to the child using the naming system. You are naming him a name that you carry in problems with. I don't think it's a right thing. But that's the first point on this verse. Let's notice the second thing about the verse. It says Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. So first thing, I disagree with the mother. But the second thing is interesting. Despite being called such a bad name, Pain, the boy turned out to be a good boy. The scriptures are saying he was more honorable than his brothers. The brothers that were not called good names, having a good name did not help them. This boy with a bad name became somebody honorable. And I think that's one of the things that is important. Whereas I don't encourage mothers to call their children hyena or some funny name, you that have been called that bad name, please understand the message we get from Jabez. You can still be honorable despite being called a hyena. I know you're laughing. But you know, when your campus call somebody Biti, they are calling him hyena. The Biti means hyena. And the Kikuus had the same ceremony. When when you name somebody and they die, name it again, they die. Now, in order to insult the Goma, in order to insult the Goma, the spirits of the dead, you now call them a bad name, so that way they will not take the child. That was the belief system of the Wakambas and the Kikuyus. So they call him Biti. But my friend, you can be called hyena and become our president. You can be called hyena and become a blessing, a bishop, blessing the people of God. Jabez, called a bad name. Scripture is telling us he became more honorable. So I'm addressing myself to people with bad names. Please, do not use your name as an excuse for your mediocrity. Don't be mediocre because you are called mediocre. You know, that doesn't make you mediocre. You can live beyond. It will create problems. People ask you questions. People laugh at you. But you can rise above the challenges of a bad name and still become somebody honorable. So addressing myself to people with bad names, please understand that that's no excuse for not becoming what God created you to be. It is possible to become a big man, a great man, because you are God's child, and God is not affected by bad names. If you surrender yourself to God, allow God to work on your potential, you will end up to reach where God created you to reach, despite your bad name. And I think that's why I like this passage. It's a very useful passage in terms of naming, so that you don't start thinking. But of course, the same thing, it needs to be understood. It means if you are called such a blessing, your name is grace. Your name is favor. You will not have favor because you are called favor. A name does not give you any blessings. Because if it were, then Jabez would not have become honorable. It will be important to understand. And that takes me to verse 10. That is 1 Chronicles chapter 4 verse 10. It says, Jabez cried out to the God of Israel. He's in prayer. Oh, that you'd bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I'll be free from pain. And God granted his request. We are not told anywhere the name was ever changed. He was still Jabez, but he had no pain. He was still hyena, but he was not sounding like a hyena. It's important to understand that you can pray to God, that the impact of your name does not limit you. So, and for him, because of the name, his specific prayer is that I'll be free from pain. And that's why I have a problem with the people that are changing their names. Our friends like that, who have a theology. I don't know where they get it from. That if you are called a bad name, then now that you become a Christian, in order to deal with to be delivered from the spirits of the past, that you change your name. It's very clear from this passage that you can go on with a bad, you can go on you can be blessed against your name. You can be free from pain despite God calling you pain. But he prayed for more. Bless me, that you'd bless me, that you enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I'll be free from pain. So I am thinking that what this passage appears in the scriptures to tell us is to tell us God can bless us beyond our pain. So if you are called a name with wrong connotation, I'm not suggesting you don't change. It's not a sin. There's nothing in the scripture that tells us don't change the name. But I'm telling you, do not think you are doing a religious thing by changing the name. Jabez shows us clearly that despite not changing the name, God still blessed him. And that culture of changing name has become quite regular. You see, I used to be called Jeraine. Then I thought that means I'm somebody who can never arrive home because Jeraine in the vernacular means somebody of the pathway. So because I'm called Jeraine, somebody in the pathway, I will never reach home. But you know, we have a Jeraine who is a commissioner of revenue, KRA, despite being called Jeraine. But the others who think if they want to go places, they must change the name from being called one who is on a pathway, maybe to a name similar to arrival, Modo Kenya, or something that will help them to arrive. I think in this culture of naming, we better clearly say the story of Jabez shows us you do not have to change your name to get blessings. So what am I saying? I am saying clearly that there is nothing wrong in changing your name if you want. But there is no spiritual benefit out of changing your name. That God is not limited by your bad name. He can bless you over and above and through your bad name. So I'm saying you can change your name if you want, but I'm also saying that don't make it religious. Don't start preaching that people should change their name. You would have to tell me what you do with the Jabez, who was blessed despite his name. Nothing in the scriptures suggests he ever changed his name. So if you change it, do not use this. Your question was, what's a comment on Jabez? Yes. One, he's got a bad name. He's called Pain. Number two, it's not him in pain, it's the mother in pain. And it's important to understand that background is not right. But thirdly, that he was noble and he was blessed.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. John Ng'ang'a. I can see time is not very much on our side. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right back to know more.